Have you ever watched a company slowly check off every single promise they've made, one after another, until you realize they might actually pull off something the entire industry doubted? Well, that's exactly what's happening right now. And today's news takes Aptera one giant step closer to real production. If you've been waiting for progress, this is the moment you've been wanting to hear. So let's dive into what just happened, why it matters, and why this update could become one of the most important turning points in Aptera's journey. For anyone following Aptera, it's been a series of milestones building on top of each other. But today's development adds something powerful: flexibility. The company now has confirmed effectiveness of its S1 registration statement for a $75 million equity line of credit. And that unlocks a financial tool they can use whenever they choose. Not a promise, not a maybe, an activated option. This equity line gives Aptera the right, but not the obligation, to sell up to $75 million worth of its Class B common stock to New Circle Principal Investment LLC, a partner affiliated with New Circle Capital. But here's the key part. Aptera gets to do it incrementally, at their own discretion, and only when they believe it strategically benefits the company. That means Aptera doesn't need to scramble for funding. They don't need to hunt down emergency cash. They don't need to slow down development to wait for investors. They now have controlled access to capital whenever they need to align funding with their production timeline. And that is a massive milestone. Aptera's leadership highlighted exactly that. They explained that activating the S1 gives them a flexible, strategic financial tool to support operational growth, production preparation, and final validation. Funds generated through this equity facility are expected to flow straight into essential steps: production readiness, tooling, and everything required to bring the launch edition vehicle to market. If you've been watching closely, this fills in one of the last big pieces of the puzzle. Aptera has already proven multiple times that they deliver what they say they will. Look back at their entire development line. They said alpha prototypes were coming. They delivered. They said beta prototypes were next. They delivered. Gamma? Delivered. Delta? Completed. Every major design stage they outlined has already been showcased, tested, refined, and improved. When they said they would build validation vehicles, they did exactly that. When they said they would begin preparing their production line for low-volume manufacturing, they moved forward with it. When they said they would get listed on the NASDAQ, they followed through. One move after another, they've been proving their roadmap isn't fantasy, it's execution. And now the equity line gives them the financial runway to take the next step: low-volume production. This is the phase that separates companies that simply make prototypes from companies that actually put vehicles on the road. But here's something interesting. Despite all of this, there are still people who believe Aptera isn't real, or that the project is somehow destined to fail. And honestly, that skepticism is normal. Every transformative vehicle in history, every EV startup, every radical design, every disruptive idea, always has a wave of doubt around it. However, Aptera hasn't responded with hype. They've responded with progress, prototype by prototype, milestone by milestone, public roadmap after public roadmap. Anyone who saw their vehicle displayed at events like CES knows these machines are real, functional, and constantly improving. And the number of updates, refinements, and engineering enhancements they've made shows they aren't just building a vehicle, they're building a platform meant to evolve. For anyone paying close attention, the signs are all pointing in the same direction: forward momentum. Now, here's where things get even more interesting. Once Aptera begins low-volume production, and people finally see these aerodynamic, solar-powered vehicles quietly gliding across real American roads, the conversation is going to change. Investors who dismissed the company may suddenly realize they underestimated it. People who brushed it off as a concept car might regret not paying closer attention. Early supporters, meanwhile, will be the ones who saw it coming. Because nothing convinces people more than seeing a real product being driven in the real world. And when Aptera's vehicles begin rolling out, that's exactly what's going to happen. Public perception will shift, curiosity will spike, the market will respond, the auto industry will take note. Many will suddenly realize that Aptera has been quietly building the future this entire time. Of course, the company is not claiming guaranteed success. No one can. But the momentum and the preparation are undeniable. This financial tool gives them a way to fund the most difficult steps of production without stalling or losing time. They've built prototypes, revealed working designs, refined the engineering, and secured a path to capital during critical stages. Everything is lining up exactly the way a disciplined, long-term company would plan it. And honestly, the excitement around finally seeing this vehicle on the road is incredibly high. A lot of people have been waiting years to get their hands on one. For supporters who've believed in this mission from the beginning, the upcoming production phase isn't just another update. It's the moment they've been anticipating. Aptera is closer than ever to turning a bold idea into a real, delivered product. So, as this new milestone becomes official, the question now shifts from, will Aptera make it, to, how soon will we see them on the streets? Because if their consistent track record means anything, the answer is sooner than most people think. If everything continues at this pace, there will come a day very soon when people look at this vehicle passing by and say, I can't believe I doubted that company. And honestly, that day feels closer than ever. Until then, the journey continues. And with this new access to capital, Aptera now has yet another tool to bring their vision to life. The next chapter is about to begin.